Okay, so we're here now in Tokoname, Japan. This is the most famous town on earth for the Kyusu teapot. This is the iconic Japanese side-handle teapot that makes brewing much easier. And today, we're going to be touring a teapot factory to see how they're made. Located right next to Nagoya, Tokoname is known as one of the 6 ancient kilns of Japan, with production dating back to the 12th century, and now it accounts for 30 to 40% of the total teapot production in Japan. We visited a small studio in Tokoname that produces the red clay teapots we sell on our website, and we learned that great teapots begin with great clay. The clay in this region of Tokoname is renowned for its fine particle size, meaning it has a very smooth feel to it, perfect for teapots. While the clay is liquefied on the lower floor, the upper floor is where the real magic happens. So basically we have this beautiful Tokoname clay, super smooth, low porosity, and they actually filled these plaster molds with the clay. And if you look down here, so this is plaster. It has a very high porosity, so it's going to absorb the moisture from the clay, and that's going to pull the moisture out, so you go from very wet clay to very dry clay. And then what they're going to do is they're going to break these molds open, and that's how you get these. So these are slightly unfinished clay teapots. They have their shape, they just need their structure. And in the next step, we're going to see how they remove some small imperfections. And then eventually they're going to bake them. So there's a few different details of the teapot. You have the main body, then you have the handle. Those are the 2 biggest pieces. So what makes the Japanese teapot unique is that you have this side handle, which makes the pouring more fluid. You can just use a simple turn of the wrist. And then we have the lid, which we haven't seen yet. But then we also have the top to the lid. So this is where they're making the little top to the lid. These are the smallest parts of the teapot. But if you look at the finished teapots, they don't look like 4 separate pieces. They just look like 2. So behind me, Nakamura-san is hard at work turning those 4 pieces we saw before into 2 pieces. So if you look at this teapot, it's really seamlessly blended together. You know, the handle and the body of the teapot look like one piece. You really can't even see a seam here. It's so smoothly blended. So that's what Nakamura-san is working on. She's blending these pieces of the teapot together so that they look like one cohesive piece instead of 4 different pieces. So the 4 main pieces we saw before were the lid of the teapot, also the top of the lid, so this little ball right here, the handle, and then the body. And so this is the station where those 4 pieces come together to make 2, a lid and a body. After Nakamura-san has finished her work, the teapots will almost look completely done, but they need one finishing touch before they can be fired. At this station, the unfinished teapots need their final coating. This is not a dye, nor is it a glaze, but rather a superfine clay slip that is applied on the outside of the teapots. The particles in this coating are much finer than in the body of the teapot, so they can fill in the spaces and give the teapots a smooth finish. The coating is also higher in iron, so it gives the teapots their iconic red color. To dry them off and make sure there's no dripping, they will blast the teapots with pressurized air and leave them out to dry. Once they are dry, the teapots will be placed in an electric kiln and fired. The kiln needs to be heated gradually to avoid cracking and heat off residual moisture. Then it will eventually reach 1100 to 1200 degrees Celsius and the clay will harden into ceramic. The iron inside the clay will also oxidize during the firing process to deepen the red color. This Kyusu teapot has a number of features that make it the best tool for preparing Japanese tea. That side handle we saw earlier is hollow, so it stays cool to the touch, even when you're brewing hot tea. It also allows you to pour with more refined movements. Instead of tilting your whole arm, all it takes is a simple turn of the wrist. The teapot has a wide body which gives the tea leaves more space to expand and release their flavor into the water, which is why you'll get richer brews with a teapot than with a strainer. Finally, the teapot has a built-in mesh filter that automatically sifts out the leaves as you pour so they don't end up in your cup. Because of the low porosity, these teapots are more neutral, meaning they can be used for multiple types of teas without being seasoned. This makes the teapot perfect for beginners who want to upgrade from strainers but don't want to invest in too much specialty equipment. If you want to get your own red Kyusu teapot produced here in Tokoname, you can find it on our website, neoteas.com. We have tons of videos coming soon from our trip to Japan where we visit tea farmers, matcha mills, chasen makers, and master potters. So if you don't want to miss the next episode, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until then, we'll see you next time.